This is
I am not a journalist.
this is my boy, right? Mike, okay?
I have no political agenda, and I do not support the regime of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Boo.
Welcome to the very, very cold Yanji, northeast China. 20 kilometers in that direction lies a country so secretive that when I was flying in, we had to close the blinds on the windows of the plane because we weren't allowed to look outside. Tomorrow morning, I'll be among the first group of non-Russian tourists in over 5 years to step foot inside North Korea. Without any further ado, roll the cliche intro featuring a compilation of news reporters saying the words North Korea over and over and over and over again.
North Korea.
Dude, Mike is so sick. This guy, he's the one that with the Xinjiang, right?
North Korea.
North Korea.
North Korea.
North Korea.
British travel influencer Mike O'Kennedy, one of the first Western tourists to visit North Korea since before the pandemic.
Salaam alaikum. So sick. This is cool.
Looks like North Korea's back
Everybody knows the more your military shows impressive feats of strength, like breaking bricks and stuff, the stronger your military is.
on the menu, boys. It's the most isolated country on Earth, and since January 2020, it's been completely closed to the outside world. Until now. While 13 of North Korea's administrative divisions remain closed, one has opened up. Razon. Not only is it the one place in the world where Russia, China, and North Korea, the three bad boys of Eastern politics, stand side by side, it also happens to be North Korea's controlled experiment with foreign trade. Come with me on this two-part series as we step into the most secretive and isolated country on Earth, North Korea. Whoa. This is the Chinese border going into North Korea. And just like that, we're in North Korea. Let's see what planned adventures there are for us over the next 5 days. Starting with a bus through the countryside. Let's see what we can see. We had 5 North Koreans with us. There was no shaking this feeling that we were being watched. Always.
Yeah, you're a British white guy. The first British white guy inside of North Korea post-COVID. No dude. Yeah, even if it wasn't like it's partially because yes, you're surrounded by government handlers, but it's also partially because half of these motherfuckers have never seen a swagged out white boy like you before. You know what I mean?
So walking into the
For those of you who don't know, I have a poster from North Korea right there. That one right next to, like, right above the Luffy hat that the boys brought back from Democratic People's Republic of Korea, boy. And I did a thing when they went.
Now, as much as I love, this is where this trip's going to be really tough for me because, as much as I love going around and seeing the things that they want you to see, the deer park, and we're going to visit a bank, which is going to be very interesting. What I'm interested in is what's going on beyond those mountains, and beyond those mountains, and in these villages. I've got a feeling there's not going to be a lot of human interaction on this trip, which makes me very sad.
I know you said that the DPRK are victims, but like surely they don't have to engage in this cruel and insane censorship and surveillance regime. Like that isn't exactly helping their image worldwide. I mean, there's no helping the image of North Korea worldwide. It's like helping the Cuban image worldwide. I think like government censorship of this sort is obviously totally unreasonable, but the only countries where I think it's like more reasonable than, I don't know, the Western world, because I have way more smoke for Chinese censorship and Chinese government control than I do for North Korea or Cuba. These are countries that have been completely dominated by Western powers. I think it's a little bit more understandable for them to be paranoid about it. You know what I mean? Yes, Unc does have a mythic item.
Come with me to visit a mineral water factory. Yay.
Paranoid with foreigners, understandably, but with their own citizens, what is a poor person from Pyongyang gonna do? Dude, you have to understand, it's like an entire nation and its governance operating like an abuse victim. There's a lot. This is part of the mismanagement that I speak about when I say North Korea is not exactly North Korea is exactly the beautiful socialist utopia that people present it as, because it is despotic. 100%. Like they have lineage rulership on top of the democratic structure, the quote unquote democratic structure that they have, similar to the one party rule that you see in places like Cuba or you see in places like China. But at the end of the day, the Kim dynasty rules all. I wouldn't consider it to be a communist or socialist form of governance, because there is still a complete control over it's a dynasty, not a central committee. I mean, there is, like, from what I understand, their electoral structure is similar, and there's not a lot of great information on this stuff. And so, don't get mad at me, don't yell at me, but their electoral structure is similar to Cuba's. Like they don't have a people's commit. They don't have like a central committee structure, but they still have like localities, and there is some semblance of an election in localities, but like even then those aren't real elections. You know what I mean? They get 100% of the vote. Like the people that are voted into office within the party structure are winning by like 100%, like not even Bashar al-Assad margins. I'm talking 100%. It's not exactly like Cuba in the sense that like you do actually in Cuba vote, right, for your local governance, and then you can make demands of your local governments that it takes it up to the party. Whereas in North Korea, there's not really much of that going on. I guess the major difference is, of course, that they have been over harder than Cuba, and certainly harder than China as well, especially after their main economic partner and their entry point into the global economy was dissolved, the USSR, and then they were hit with a ginormous famine. And instead of looking at that situation, the Western powers going, okay, this is our opportunity to like help fix some of the issues in this country that we basically genocided. They kept up the sanctions regime, which destroyed the country, like completely destroyed the country. So everything that you see in terms of redevelopment in North Korea, everything that you have seen thus far, like the fact that he can like go around and film people and all this is actually kind of crazy. It is truly, truly shocking that they were able to recover and rebuild after this. I think one of the major factors at play here is the despotic leadership, because it is almost like, I mean, it resembles a monarchy, right? And I think that in and of itself plays a major role in North Korea North Korean leadership taking advantage of the fact that they don't have any sort of like entry point into the outside world, with the exception of China and Russia as well, where you get to maintain power and control this way. Do you think they need the monarchy? No. I think that it will never happen unless North Korea is open to global trade and open to international cooperation. But unfortunately, their closest partners also kind of benefit from the current rule in North Korea. In that I mean China as well. It is not in China's best interest to even have Democratic People's Republic of Korea develop closer relationships to Russia, for example, because they have a similar attitude to what America had with South Korea in terms of like a bulwark against growing Soviet sentiment. And for China, it's a protective barrier as well, an ally that is reliable because it's reliant on China.
This is a factory. Where are the factory workers? The people working here?
What's the day
today? The day today is
Saturday?
Thursday.
Thursday?
Yeah. What I've just noticed, this is a mineral water factory. The water runs straight from the mountain into this building, and there is kind of like a grotto. I'll get some more videos with my phone. Kind of like a grotto where there's just water pouring out and a cup where you can go and drink the water. And nothing else here. And no one else here.
Also, this is why I say like it's nowhere near as bad as the way that Americans present it, but it's also it's not as good as the way that socialists presented either. I guess I'm a North Korean centrist in that regard. And I still obviously say, which, many people yell at me for saying the truth, but especially post-dissolution of the USSR, the conditions, even then, the conditions of North Korea are still mostly a direct consequence of being shut out from global trade and being under one of the worst sanctions regimes of all time.
Let me show you what this thing looks like on a good camera. little bit of the old. What did he say? Don't drink too much of it, because it could get sick. You could get sick.
That's crazy.
It's good.
I would not do that in Los Angeles. Like that's
Pretty
bold.
much every individual house I saw in this region looked exactly the same.
It's not, no disrespect. That's not DPRK. I'm not shitting on DPRK. I'm just saying I wouldn't even do that in most parts of, in any part of America.
First impressions of North Korea. We spent 2 hours traveling on a bus from the border of China. I reckon I saw about 20 people in that time. Not a lot of people, no cars, maybe like 1 or 2 taxis in that whole journey. People on bicycles, the people that I did see were on bicycles. They're out on the farm. I didn't see any farming equipment, didn't see any, considering the amount of...
Okay, also the place that he went to is not Pyongyang, where most of the economic activity exists. Like this is a totally separate part of the country that has opened for tourism. It's going to be an incredibly controlled experience in general.
Farming equipment there is here. No tractors, no harvesting crap, you know? Where I am now, Rason, is an incredibly unique and a very, very unvisited part of North Korea, even before COVID. And it's very, very interesting. A lot of foreign investment. Think of it as a kind of experiment.
Yeah, it's also winter on farmlands. Like obviously there's not a lot to harvest.
By the North Koreans to introduce some form of capitalism into the country. I'm going to learn about it. We're going to look around. We're here for 5 days, man. For the past 5 years...
Chat, people are pushing this bus, by the way. Real. Yami Park told me.
And North Korea has one train, go to one distance like once a month. And like... Here it would take like 1 hour to go the other place. In North, it would take a month at least to go because there's no electricity. And sometimes people have to push the train.
There's been no traveling for you between here and Pyongyang?
Just individually.
Ah, okay. Is that because of COVID or anything?
COVID, yeah.
COVID.
Very serious.
Was COVID here for the whole 5 years? How long did COVID situation last?
So...
It's crazy that they had COVID. That's got to suck so much dick that you are a country that barely gets any fucking outside interaction and you still had fucking COVID. I mean, obviously you got the Chinese border right there, but I'm just saying, like, imagine existing in this situation where you have very limited outside help and you still get fucking COVID. Like, god damn, that sucks.
Okay, later.
Okay, can I ask you later?
Yeah, later.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
No camera.
No camera. As you can see, my guy wasn't comfortable talking about COVID on camera, but off camera, he told me that the virus was sent over in a package attached to a balloon from South Korea. It spread fast, but thanks to Kim Jong-un's quick action, North Korea completely contained the outbreak.
Come on, man. Yeah, I mean, okay. That's probably true. I believe him.
In exactly 90 days. Honestly, that's not too hard to believe, considering how easily the country can lock things down and control its people.
Yeah, no, I do believe that they shut it down quickly, but I don't believe that it was a virus balloon from South Korea. I'm more inclined to believe that it was, you know, someone traveling from China. Let's continue.
These are anti-American propaganda postcards, knives, and these are American soldiers here. God.
Sick.
I'm actually running a giveaway where I'll be personally writing and sending these postcards to 5 people. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram and message me telling me one thing that you learned from this video. Warning, if you're from the US and you get one, it might come with a visit from the National Security Agency. Big North Korean soldier, lots of American soldiers in a crash plane down here.
Korea is a socialist country. The first criterion for the calling socialist country, the first one is education completely free. It's also very easy to hang the bag. Easy. our marshal give detailed instructions about how to make it better.
So Marshal Kim Jong-un had these ideas,
Ideas
to make this and make this bigger. And that was his ideas that he implemented.
This is why I say, like, it's not exactly the most revolutionary socialist leadership, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, there's some goofy ass that I would go so far as to say is like definitely beneficial for the dynastic rule that they have as well, in terms of like Jusha being a benefit for the continuation of this dynastic rulership. Come on, the chairs can hold it back. That's sick. Yeah, ironic because, yeah, that motherfucker went to school in Switzerland. So obviously, you know, he knows what it looks like. He didn't invent nothing, okay? Like, come on, dude. I think a lot of you forget that, you know, the Kim family does, like, they grow up outside of DPRK as well.
Interesting.
What about this? It's a thick forest. Yeah, okay. Now, think about...
Like, I think, once again, and I do need to repeat this, the incredible thing to watch here is the fact that this is even happening in a country that has been so fucked over by the greatest powers on the planet and continue to be fucked over. And no, they're only teaching in English because of this tour. Come on. I guess this is an English class.
Why the rainforests are in danger and what you have to do to protect them, okay? Yes. Discuss in groups and play some roles.
Hey.
Oh, hi, Sada.
Hi. Oh, what are you doing?
And you see, we are picking up the flowers. Yes. Look at me and the bill right there. Yes, I see the too.
Oh my God, good heavens.
Oh, what's the matter?
Oh, it's not right.
Yes.
This is amazing.
Just get wrong because you just get wrong.
You're this English teacher. Nice to meet you. Michael, nice to meet you. What do you like about the countryside? Beautiful?
Now, under the wise leadership of our family Marshal Kim Jong-un, the countryside has been changing.
Yes. I don't know. No, how has it been changing?
Now, new houses were built and
Yes.
also gymnasium, park, and swimming pool, and
Yeah.
so on were also built.
Is this staged? I mean, everything he's doing is staged, yes. I mean, but they obviously have some of the best students in the class speak to him. What they say when they are speaking to him is still very cringe and, you know, a byproduct of what I guess they thought would be the best thing to show to Westerners. You know what I mean? Guess which little girls actually government agents? Not government agents. But they are saying things that they think would make the country look good to the outside world, which is still kind of sad.
Almost every song that comes out of the DPRK is, as expected, a tool of worship towards the country's current or former leaders. The recurring theme throughout this trip was the utter devotion people had towards Kim Jong-un. While I'm fully aware that they probably don't have much choice in the matter, since openly speaking out against the leadership would lead to arrest, the public image of Kim Jong-un is more than that of a leader. To them, he's a god.
The worst part about dynastic rule is that the grandpa is usually goated, and then the pop is not as good. And then by the third generation, you have a total fail son. You'll have like a real ass, rugged ass, revolutionary dude who is like legitimately popular. And then the power exchanges, the power is handed off to the fucking son who is nowhere near as good, and for the most part lives in a lap of luxury. And then basically by the third generation, you have the worst. Just an absolute complete failure of a fail son. Our dynastic fail son is going to be barren? No.
Since the making
Oh,
of this
God.
video, North Korea has once again completely suspended tourism just 3 weeks after reopening.
Damn, this dude shut down an entire country's tourism and propaganda strategy, dude. What the No, I'm kidding. It probably wasn't him, but
We're joined now by Mike, who is one of the first tourists to head into North Korea.
British travel influencer Mike O'Kennedy.
Yeah, I'm in North Korea.
Michael
North Korea
Kennedy
stopped letting
son.
tourists into the country just weeks after the first Western visitors were allowed back in. Authorities have not given a reason for the sudden suspension.
Welcome to another day in the bizarre world.
Oh, dude, does this? I don't know if this place has it, but like Don't they play music at like 6 a.m.? Bro, North Korea is the most Islamic nation out there, dude. Like Ezan. They play, instead of the call to prayer, they play like some North Korean song, a North Korean Ezan.
Razon, at North Korea's northeastern tip, sits uniquely on the border of China and Russia. This gives it a major strategic edge. It controls a stretch of the Sea of Japan, something that China does not have, and it hosts the only year-round ice-free port in the entire region, something that Russia does not have. I'm heading to a monument built by Kim Jong-il to honor North Korea's bond with Russia, unaware that I'm about to make a mistake that will cause me some pretty serious anxiety for the rest of the day.
Warmly welcome your visit. Just get inside first, because outside is cool. So more introduction inside. Hello.
So we weren't allowed to take pictures inside the main room, but it was essentially just a lot of pictures through the years of Kim Jong-il and Kim Jong-un in their various meetings with Vladimir Putin. Now, they had this visitor's book in the Friendship House, and I was asked to write something. And like a friggin' 5-year-old on Christmas Day, I wrote, "I wish nothing but peace to the world." Because that's the kind of thing you write in a visitor's book. But it's safe to say that the North Koreans didn't take it very well.
Wait, really?
Thank you, Mr. Moon.
Okay. I have true.
Oh,
What do you think?
Do you think this is the suitable writing here?
Well, it's like,
It's like I thought you just.
it's like because there's people.
Oh my God. What? That's so awkward. That's so, dude, this is oh God. I feel like I'm in trouble just simply watching this. Oh, that's awkward. Maybe suitable as in you need to write more? Yeah. Is that what he's saying? Like, look at all the writing that people wrote here.
Peace between Korea and Russia. It's like peace. What do you think? Peace between countries, because this is a friendship house. If not, we can get rid of it.
Oh no.
So behind me is the Russian, Korean, North Korean friendship.
Oh no, dude. Look, that's not even, he tried his best. That's so sad. That's so that's so awkward. He didn't even say nothing bad. Like he tried to do his very best. Oh, they think it's a Ukraine protest. He ruined the friendship book. Dude, I would be writing so many crazy things in there. I'd be like, one day the entire world will understand the importance of the immortal science of Marxist-Leninist Jewishaist principles, except they also fucking abolished Marxist-Leninism, I think. So they would probably get mad at that too. And I would say that I wish for a day for a unified Korea led by the glorious Kim dynasty. This is how you will eradicate the incels. He failed the QTE? Yeah. Tainted the friendship book. He tainted the friendship book. No. No more friendship. Let us become patriotic farmers who uphold the rice farming revolution.
The people of the DPRK live under a one-party system. Every piece of news they receive about their country and the world comes from a single source. In contrast, we have thousands of sources, but with so much information, it's hard to get a balanced view. In the past decade, ad-driven algorithms have made news more polarized, tailoring coverage to specific audiences. That's where Ground News comes in. It's a website and app that pulls in thousands of news articles daily.
Ground news ad in the middle of his North Korean tourism video. That's crazy.
And it really helps me see news, how important it is to look at stories from different angles. Ground News helps me cut through the bullshit to see the bigger picture, so I'm not just getting one version of the truth. If you subscribe through my link in the description, you'll get 40% off their unlimited access Vantage plan, giving you access to every feature. If you want to support my report,
it's pretty funny to use a tailor-made tour to sow suspicion against a nation welcoming a rare visitor, because if you look at Speed Stream in Mongolia, they literally did the exact same thing for him. And that country is a liberal democracy. Turns out small countries just like to roll out red carpets sometimes. No, it's different, because you could just absolutely travel to Mongolia and you wouldn't have government handlers with you at all times. Whereas there is no traveling to DPRK without having any sort of like check-in. That's different. Like, yeah, they're doing this on purpose because they want to show the Western world a positive outlook, a positive view of North Korea. But even then, you have to remember, like, their positive outlook, like the children. Remember the children in English class, like what they were saying, what they think is the best thing to say to a foreigner. That is how far removed they are from the rest of the world, that they unironically think, oh, if I say this thing about my glorious leader, like this Westerner is going to carry that information back to his country and people are going to think, oh, we all love our glorious leader. Meanwhile, everyone that watches that goes, oh, that's wild. If there was more feedback from the outside world, they would probably be able to do propaganda better. You know what I mean? Like, they would probably be able to present North Korea in a much better way if there was more interaction with the outside world, for sure. Didn't the guy who traveling across China travel without supervision? Yeah, China is not North Korea. That's my point. Guys, hello? There is a difference between a country like China and a country like the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, dude. Yeah.
Subscribe to Ground News and take control of how you see the world. Considering I'm literally the first British tourist in over 5 years to step foot inside North Korea, the people, the Korean guides that we're with, who are part of the party, they work for the government, they're being very lenient. They are allowing me to take some videos and take pictures and stuff like that. When there's something that you're not allowed to see, they just say no, and you just go, yep, cool. You say, yep, cool. Thank you to Marshal Kim Jong-un. On that note, by the way, the Kim dynasty are like gods here. They're like God. They don't say thank God, they say thank Marshal Kim Jong-un. And you have to say Marshal Kim Jong-un. You can't just say Kim Jong-un. They're like gods, man. It's interesting. I was going to say weird.
It's Saturday night. It's bitterly cold.
I also trust this guy to be the least biased out of everything I've seen thus far from him. So, like, even him being like, the vibes are kind of here is like, I think there is an extent to how much a white boy can take in terms of countries that are outside of the sphere of Western influence, for sure. But like, if you look at the way he did his China trip versus here, it's obvious that it's just different. The vibes are different. And I think that is for good reason.
So I'm going to have dinner, but then after dinner, I'm going to sit at this bar and I'm going to try a wide range of North Korean alcohol and we'll give our opinions on it. Thank you. How are you? 안녕하십니까? Right, I don't know what that was about. Okay, I'm going to talk about food for like 30 seconds because I'm not good at talking about food. I'm only good at eating it. Overall, the food in North Korea was good, I guess. Nothing really to write home about. This was famous North Korean cold noodles, and this was like salmon with kind of like custard on it, which was pretty weird. And this was a flaming snail, which I guess is a thing. I don't know, I feel a bit weird talking about all this really, really lavish food in a country so notorious for its history of famine. Yeah.
Oh, that makes me sad, dude. I mean, that's fucking sad. They busted out the goddamn red carpet. This is like the best possible food they could show him, and he's like, it sucks. That's sad.
The funny thing about this bar is actually impossible to pour your own drink.
What? Why did someone say look out for 1402? Was it in this video where you wanted me to look out for 1402? Or was it 1420? Oh.
Pour your own drink.
Yeah. We'll get
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the same business. You reckon we just want a small one? Yeah, yes, sir.
Like our...
Okay, what is it? Is it this guy in the background?
For a piece? Peace.
To peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
Oh, he said for peace.
In 1910, Korea was annexed by Japan. This sparked a wave of resistance movements across the country, with guerrilla fighters taking up arms against Japanese rule.
We're still
Now this. Oh, f*** it
Yeah, I mean, he knows, is a white boy that knows his history a little bit, you know. That's why I said you got the granddad who's like real revolutionary figure, and then you got the fail son, and then you get the failest of the grandsons.
This is a cave that was used by guerrilla fighters when fighting against the Japanese imperialists in 1945. This path has its ups and downs, has its struggles, much like the road to revolution. After 35 years of Japanese rule, Korea was suddenly left without
I think Kim Jong-il is a bigger fail son than Kim Jong-un. North Korea is far better with him relatively anyways. I think you got to analyze the actual material conditions and all of the things that they went through in general. But sure, maybe. My point was the granddad is better than the other two.
To keep things in order, the Soviet Union took control of the north while the US took the south, leading to the Korean War in 1950. And the total isolation of North Koreans from the rest of the world is a direct result of US and Soviet involvement after World War II. Behind me is some classic DPRK propaganda.
Just incredible amounts of bombing that is, as I say, if it wasn't done by a coalition force backed by the United States of America, would be absolutely considered genocide. Not just the bombing, but chemical warfare, biological warfare, straightforwardly.
This is a bottle of rattlesnake whiskey. God. And I'm going to do a shot of it. I can't drink that. There's stuff. There's like mud in the lid. Oh my God, its tongue is stuck to the end. I know it's just a piece of string. Oh my God. That is a rattlesnake.
Oh.
Oh God, I can't believe I'm about to drink this.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Oh God. Oh dear God. Oh God. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm out at that
there's little
point.
bits in it. What are they? If you've made it to the end of this video, and end of this series, you deserve to see me suffer. That was one of the most disgusting things I've ever drank in my entire life. As I made my way back to China, a place so many people see as strict and oppressive, but now felt like the freest place on earth, I couldn't help but reflect on the past 4 days. I only caught a small glimpse of North Korea, and that glimpse was controlled, carefully curated to show me the best of what the country has to offer, so I cannot claim to speak for the entire country. But before coming here, I had a preconception that this was a dark place, an evil place, an oppressive place. And politics aside, what I actually saw was something different. I saw a developing country. I saw a country decades behind the rest of the world, where people don't share the same freedoms that we take for granted. But I also saw people simply trying to live their lives. It's easy to paint a country with a broad brush, to define it by its government, its policies, or its place in history. But behind all of that are individuals, people with hopes, struggles, and families just like anywhere else. And if there's one thing I'm taking away from this experience, it's that the people of North Korea are not their government. They are not the system they live under. They are just people living in a country that is so incomprehensibly different from anything you and I can imagine.
This video makes me feel sad because I see the U.S. being like this in the next couple of years, having statues of Trump everywhere and revering him as God, as teaching that in school. Okay, dude, calm down, okay? You're a little bit too libbed up if you think that that's what's going on here. I mean, we're moving in a very illiberal way for sure, but you know that's not going to happen in 2 years. Okay, the country is certainly becoming more authoritarian than it has in quite some time. But Ukraine moment for Hasan. I mean, brother, we don't have the eternal science of Marxist-Leninist Jewish principles guiding a competent enough administration to be able to whip this country into that level of authoritarian control over the course of 2 years. Okay, we're not organized enough. Our fascists are not organized enough. It's not happening. Also, in spite of all of its troubles and its inherently undemocratic, dynastic, dare I say, despotic rulership, they do have, government housing. We don't. They're making the most of the limited resources that they have. We don't have any of that shit. We have all of the resources and none to show for it, none of the freedoms to show for it.